on the Seekonk Supply Hotline.
Well, if you listened to talk radio yesterday, you would know how aggressive this is being felt by people today. Adriana Bonilla is running for a state senate in District 6. One of the co-sponsors of the bill is State Senator Tiara Mack, who, hopeful state senator, Adriana Bonilla will be running against in November. Miss Bonilla, how are you? Thank you for coming on to the show.
Hello, good morning to you and anybody who's listening. I'm great. How are you?
Doing well, thank you, and appreciate you coming on here. And you were the person that started the fire yesterday, which started 12 hours of talk radio, tweeting out this bill, talking about the vaccine mandate. Just give me your opposition and your thoughts when you first saw this.
I just want to put this out there that I'm not against the vaccines necessarily. What I am against is Senator Mack. I don't think she's really being mindful of her constituents. There's predominantly a lot of minorities, but this doesn't just affect our community. This does affect the rest of Rhode Island. So a bunch of people, they're already very concerned. The gas is rising, the food, inflation, children's education. We really don't need to add another economic burden. So when you want to pass a bill such as S2552, essentially, you're going to be affecting our community a lot because if you looked at the actual stats, they were the ones who were least vaccinated. So when you mentioned that we barely are making ends meet, taking away from their income or having these fees, I just don't understand. That is another economic burden that I don't think people should have to worry about. I have gotten inboxed nonstop. It's still going.
I can only imagine. It sparked off a crazy amount of talk radio conversation yesterday. Now, you said you talked to minority members, people of color in the community who would be negatively affected by this bill. What are they saying to you when they hear that, there's this proposal to mandate everybody get a vaccine in Rhode Island, or you got to pay higher taxes and you got to pay a fine?
Well, again, the economic portion is concerning because if they're barely able to pay their utilities, which have obviously gone up, and all these prices of gas and their basic needs, now to add this other burden is like, wait a minute, I might, just because of my own personal choice to opt out of something, I might in a way be punished, or this is like, it's just not right that you feel you have to go about it at this angle. I personally don't think that that's the right angle to go about it.
Mm-hmm. Now, the person that you're running against, or that you want to run against, State Senator Tiara Mack, she's a co-sponsor of this bill. How do the constituents that you want to serve feel that she's doing a job for the people in that area?
To be truthful, a lot of the people are actually bilingual Spanish speakers. So some of them truly, they don't know that some of these bills are even out there, which is why on my own social media, I try to translate almost everything that I do. I put it in English, I put it in Spanish, and I have had people reach out to me, whether it's my community or other parts of Rhode Island, and they're just like, this is true? Like, this cannot be true. Like, what? This seems like this is just like make-believe or something. But I'm like, well, it's out there, so it's just to inform you all that this could be something that essentially does pass.
Mm. And that's what you're seeing, too, is that there's a language barrier still. I mean, it was something that Tara Granahan brought up early on in the pandemic, that we don't have any translated radio station out there that can, keep track of these press conferences about who, is saying what, and, if the message is actually getting to the community. So to this day, over a year late, or I guess 2 years later, we're still having trouble translating the message and getting the accurate information to non-English speaking citizens in the state.
Yes, actually, I don't know. I was going to actually request if I was actually able to say some stuff in Spanish, so that maybe if someone is listening, perhaps.
Sure, go ahead. We have a big time language.
Here. Okay, thank you so much. Yo simplemente quiero decir, la gente de mi comunidad y la gente de RI, los senadores quieren pasar S2552. Mi enfoque es que mi comunidad y otros serán afectados. Si la gente decide no vacunarse, le darán una multa de $50 cada mes o quitar de sus impuestos. Ya tenemos suficiente con los gastos de gasolina, con comida y necesidades básicas y económicas. Para pensar en otro gasto más, yo no pienso que realmente es justo. That's all. That's good enough. Thank you.
What did you say?
I basically just said we already have all of these economic burdens, and I just want you people to know that the senators are trying to pass a bill that if you simply chose to opt out of a vaccine, that you may be fined or more money might be taken out of your income taxes when we're already concerned with paying for our basic needs, paying for gas or whatever other necessities we have.
Mm-hmm. All right, and one more before we let you go. This is one of your first interviews here on WPRO. I don't know if you've popped up anywhere else in terms of doing interviews or whatnot.
This is the first time.
So why do you want to work for the people of District 6? If your prospective constituents were listening right now, what would you want them to hear from you?
I just want to say simply, I'm just a mom, just like most of us are parents. I work in education. I work with special needs, and I just felt that for so long they've been kept out of conversations or they're just not informed enough. So I would really like to communicate and just effectively work on this. And I know that it's not the easiest mission, but that doesn't mean that one should get deterred and not try to communicate and just leave things as is. So I just really want to connect with them on more levels and just let them know basic things because there's some people who don't even know who their representatives are or how to testify. So I wrote that on a couple times on my social media as well.
Well, tell people where to go follow you on your social media.
Yes. I have my Twitter, which is still currently being flooded. Adriana Bonilla, Senate District 6, or if people want to actually comment or anything, I will write back, and it's Adri District 6. Instagram, I'm still barely getting on there, but it's active. That is Adriana District 6 PVD. And at the moment, I am on Facebook just because I just began opening my campaign. So I'm also found on Facebook. But I just want people to stay tuned, know that they have options, and I would be glad to meet many people, which I've slowly started to meet while I've been knocking on doors.
All right, Adriana Bonilla, thank you so much for coming on to the radio this morning and making your debut into Rhode Island radio. We appreciate you coming on. You're running against Tiara Mack for State Senate Seat District 6. You say that many of your constituents that you want to serve are non-English speaking constituents that don't even know that this is a possibility that they could be fined for not getting the vaccine. Adriana, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.